Tom Wilson, the Caps' leading goal scorer, leading point scorer, and general badass, goes out with a gruesome injury just days after being named to Team Canada for the Olympics. Let's all just take a moment here. I'm just going to light a candle for Tom Wilson. Okay? Light this bad boy up and pray. Caps lose in a shootout again. Stop me if you've heard that one before. This time it was to the Chicago Blackhawks 3-2, and the Chicago Blackhawks without Connor Bedard. So yeah, not great, boys. And yeah, multiple injury concerns here as well for the Washington Capitals. They were, of course, already without Pierre-Luc Dubois and have been for most of this season. And yeah, before this game against the Chicago Blackhawks, it came out that there were multiple game time decisions pending here tonight for this game. A stomach flu circulating amongst the team through the locker room. Many guys apparently sick with that. So some game time decisions from that. Multiple guys banged up with injury as well. So multiple game time decisions from that. And so Justin Sourdif, he was able to play tonight. Although we know that he has been banged up. He did miss the morning skate this morning. No Aliaksei Protas for this one. Lower body injury after crashing very hard into the boards last game, even though he was able to finish that game and even scored the game-tying goal in the third period. He is out tonight. And of course, I've alluded to it already, but yeah, Caps fans, on a scale of 100 to 100, how worried are we about Tom Wilson's injury? I am worried as a Washington Capitals fan. I am also worried as a Team Canada fan. So yeah, not to make excuses for the guys here tonight, but they are dealing with a lot right now, right? That is just the reality. Tons of injuries, sickness as well. Like I said, going through the locker room right now. So they are dealing with a lot. And in this game, they were in a 1-1 tie and playing pretty well. I believe the shots were 7-2 in favor of the Washington Capitals. And like I said, the scoreboard was tied. 1 goal apiece at the point that Tom Wilson went down with injury after playing just over 5 minutes of ice time. That really did seem to suck the life out of the Caps, deflated them for sure, and they would then ultimately go on to lose this game in a shootout. So, babes, let's get to your scoring. First period, just a minute and 13 seconds in, the Blackhawks, they score on their first shot of the hockey game. It is Ryan Donato with the deflection in front of the Ilya Mikheyev shot from the point. So yeah, that's a tough one there for Logan Thompson on the first shot, like I said, that the Blackhawks would throw at him. It is a deflection. Those can sometimes be obviously tough to stop. So yeah, they get the goal here. Nothing that you can do about it now, right? They are up 1-0. And I said this to the person who I was watching the game with live that, you know, although there might not be much that Logan Thompson can do as the goaltender on this goal, on this deflection goal by Ryan Donato, there was probably something that somebody on the Washington Capitals could have done here. Like, you would certainly like to see one of the defenders here take this guy, Ryan Donato, who is standing all alone right in front of the Capitals net, right in front of Logan Thompson. No defender in sight there, boxing him out, and the Blackhawks are up 1-0 as a result. But the Caps, they would answer right back just a few minutes later, and it is Dylan Strome. Hopping on the rebound of an Ethan Frank shot, he has got this game all tied up at 1 goal apiece with his 10th goal of the season. And yeah, really nice work there by Dylan Strome to get that shot off as quick as he did on the rebound there, not even giving Spencer Knight in the Blackhawks net even a chance to get over there to make that save. So great work there by Dylan Strome. Great job by Ethan Frank as well with the quick shot on net. You love to see that. Get more pucks at the net. And yeah, Dylan Strome, like I said, his 10th goal of the season already, ties this game up for the Caps 1-1, and that is how the first period would end. Second period, the only scoring we have got is Teuvo Teravainen on the power play for the Hawks, puts them up 2-1. And that is how the second period would end. And so we would head to the third period down by a goal against, like I said off the top here in this video, a Connor Bedard-less Chicago Blackhawks team who is well outside of the playoffs again this season, although they are having a much better season than they did last season for sure. But yeah, they have not been the same since Connor Bedard went out with injury. So you really would have liked to see the Caps get at least a point here, preferably 2 in the standings against this, like I said, Connor Bedard-less Blackhawks team. And so they find themselves now heading into the third period down by a goal to this team. They need to find a goal here in the third period to get at least the 1 point in the standings. And that is exactly what they would do as Ryan Leonard, the rookie, with just over 8 minutes left to play in this game. He finds a huge goal here for his Washington Capitals. And look at the positioning, look at the battle level of Ryan Leonard in front of the net on this play, in front of the Blackhawks net. He is battling so hard to get net front position there, doling out cross checks to the Blackhawks defender. You love to see that. This kid is tough. And for being only 20 years old and a rookie in this league and having played like not even a full season yet in the National Hockey League, you just love to see this from this guy. He's tough, like I said. He battles. He competes so hard. And that is exactly what he's doing here to get this, like I said, massive goal for his Washington Capitals, get them all tied up 2-2 in the third period. It's his 8th goal of the season. And yeah, it's just an absolutely huge one here. Cannot be understated. Or cannot be overstated rather, to like at least get them the 1 point in the standings, right? Because we did not want to come out of this game empty-handed for sure. Not against this Blackhawks team, like I said, without Connor Bedard. It would have been an absolute disaster to come out of this thing with 0 points. So Ryan Leonard, 8th goal of the season, like I said, ties this thing up 2-2 for the Washington Capitals, and that is how the third period would end. And so we head to overtime where no goals are scored, but that is only thanks to a great penalty kill by the Washington Capitals in overtime as the Blackhawks, they get another power play here in OT to try to win this game. And yeah, the only thing that I will say about the officiating in this game is like the missed calls, right? Because while the Washington Capitals, they did only have to kill off 2 Blackhawks power plays. The Blackhawks as well, only getting a couple of opportunities on the PP tonight. The Washington Capitals, they only got 1 power play of their own. And that is because Tom Wilson gets speared in the nuts, literally gets speared right in the junk with no call. Alex Ovechkin gets high-sticked so bad that he loses a tooth. Another tooth gone for Alex Ovechkin on this brutal high stick. And again, no call. So there were certainly calls to be made and power plays that should have been drawn by the Washington Capitals in this game, but the referees, they don't call them. And so at the end of the day, the Caps again end up with just the 1 power play opportunity. And yeah, it's funny because when the Blackhawks got the power play in the last 2 minutes of overtime there, I was honestly like, this game's done for the Caps, right? Because one of 2 things is going to happen. Either the Blackhawks are going to score on this power play and then it is an overtime win for them, or the Caps are going to kill it off. Yay, hooray, right? But then all that means is that we are going to a shootout where the Washington Capitals are almost guaranteed to lose. So they kill off the Hawks power play just to go lose in a shootout once again, 3-2. That would be your final score. Nick Foligno with the shootout winner for the Blackhawks, beating Logan Thompson. And yeah, it's an unfortunate way to lose this game for sure. Another shootout loss for the Washington Capitals. There were signs of life, at least in this shootout. Like they did at least score a couple of goals, which is not typical or has not been typical for them for the last couple of seasons here now. So at least they got a couple of pucks past Spencer Knight. That's progress at least. Yay, right? Trying to be positive here. But yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, Nick Foligno with the shootout winner. The Caps lose another shootout and they lose this hockey game 3-2 to the Blackhawks. All right, babes, that is going to be it for this one. Yeah, tough way to go out here tonight. Not only with the loss, the shootout loss, another loss in the shootout, that sucks. But more so just with the injury concerns, right? Really concerning stuff here surrounding the Washington Capitals. two massive pieces of your team in Tom Wilson and in Aliaksei Protas. We will wait to see what the updates are on them. We know that we are still going to be without Pierre-Luc Dubois for quite some time still. He has started skating again after his surgery, so that is a huge positive. But yeah, Spencer Carberry saying just the other day, like, don't expect to see him back anytime before the Olympic break. So he is still more than a month away from returning to the Washington Capitals lineup. So that is tough news, although that one was at least expected, as we knew when he had the surgery all the way back in, I believe it was November, that he was going to be out for, they put a 3 to 4 month timeline on it. So we knew that this was the case for him. But yeah, to see Aliaksei Protas and now Tom Wilson go down, this has the potential to be really, really bad for the Washington Capitals. Obviously, that goes without saying. This was their entire second line, some would argue their first line from last season, in Pierre-Luc Dubois centering Tom Wilson on the right and Aliaksei Protas on the left. So brutal stuff. We will hope for the best. If you have a candle at home, light one up like I did, and we will hope that that does the trick, because yeah, the Washington Capitals, they need these guys, or at least 2 out of the 3, back in the lineup as soon as possible. So keep your fingers crossed, light a candle, like I said, if you have one available. And yeah, for the Caps part, their next game, this is going to be an entertaining one. Their next game will be Monday, January 5th, against the Anaheim Ducks. So that is a rematch of what was quite a scene in Anaheim the last time that these two teams played. Jacob Trouba knocking rookie Ryan Leonard out of the Caps lineup for several weeks with a very questionable, controversial hit, right? This is the first time that these two teams will play since then. So this should be a very entertaining game, very entertaining matchup. You would love to have Tom Wilson in the lineup for this one for sure, with there's sure to be some rough stuff. We'll see if the Caps maybe put Dylan McIlrath into the lineup for this one. If Tom Wilson is out, or even if he isn't out, you wouldn't mind having both of those guys in the lineup. I don't know. We'll see who's in, who's out, and see what happens here. But yeah, it should be a very entertaining game. Although I think at front of mind for the Caps should not be, at this point in time anyway, revenge, because they should be worrying more at this point about getting the 2 points. So that should be, like I said, front of mind, top of the list for the Caps is to get the 2 points, and then the revenge can come after that, right? So yeah, we will see what happens Monday night. Babes, thank you all again. As always, so much for watching. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for your support throughout this season so far. It's been a lot of fun here, honestly, making these videos here for you guys and with you guys. I always love your guys' insights as well. So as always, leave me your comments down below. Always love reading those, and I will get around to responding to some of them when I get a minute. Life is just so busy right now. So I did see a comment as well that I'm about to go reply to just now. I just saw it come in when I checked there. Somebody commented, I believe it was on the last video, that they wish that I would get these videos up like quicker after the games, rather than the next day or the next morning, whatever. So I will just say to that person that I will do my absolute best. I hear you. I understand. I know that everybody probably wants them up quicker, faster after the games. And now that the holiday break is coming to an end, I will try to get back to that and try to start getting them up quicker again. But unfortunately, it is not my day job yet. So yeah, I do have other life responsibilities, unfortunately, but I do try to get them up as quick as I can. But I will make every effort to be, on top of that and be even quicker getting these videos up for you guys as much as possible for me. So maybe someday it will be my day job, but it is not yet. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for not only for watching these videos, for leaving comments, liking the videos, sharing them around, whatever it may be. I appreciate that person leaving that comment, because if you guys want the videos up faster, I can only assume that that is because you like watching them, right? So I love to hear that, love reading that. And yeah, I always love reading all of your guys' comments about whatever it may be, whether it's about individual players, about the team as a whole in general. Keep them coming. Really, I love reading your guys' comments. So keep them coming for not only for this game, but I'm sure there's going to be some fireworks against the Anaheim Ducks as well. So yeah, just leave me your comments. And we will see what happens in that game on Monday. And we will be back on the YouTube channel after that one. Babes, as always, like I said, thank you so much for being here. I'm really rattled, if you can't tell, thinking about this Tom Wilson situation. I'm really worried about it. So yeah, like I said, light a candle if you have one. We need to get this guy back on the ice. And yeah, just thank you all so much for watching. Until next time. And as always, baby, as always, let's go Caps. And let's go Tom Wilson for Team Canada. Please, please, please be healthy. I was so happy for this guy. I'm rambling on here. I just continue talking, but I was so happy for this guy making Team Canada. Please, let's get him back on the ice. Hockey gods, please let this guy be okay. He needs to be on Team Canada. He deserves to be on Team Canada. We want to see him there. He just deserves it so much. And like I said, I was really happy for him to see him get selected because he really does just deserve it so much. So let's get him healthy. Babes, all right, I'm out of here. That is it for this one. Until next time, babes. And as always, let's go Caps.